1, Media Literacy and Research Methodologies, I met some of my favorite people at Full Sail. My teammates for the first Second Life project motivated me to do my best. We were no doubt such a great team that we continue to work together all year long on projects. During month 2, Multiple Learning Theory Applications opened my eyes to brain-based learning. After multiple projects, I went back to my classroom and made it a better place for my students. In month 3, Training and Motivational Development, it led me to my idea for my action research project. I began thinking about what I wanted to do to make my students more motivated to read.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Saccio. I'm an elementary school teacher at Enfield, Connecticut. I teach the 4th grade, and I have very little technology in my school. We have a computer lab, and usually it is being used by the computer classes that the school offers. However, we just recently got laptops, all of the teachers, and we have one projector that I would be able to use in my classroom, and I plan on doing. Hi everyone. I'm going to discuss a little bit about my plans for my action research project. First of all, the problem that I'm focusing on is based around the fact that many of my students are not interested in independent reading. I teach the 4th grade and I pull a reading group every morning, and the rest of the class is instructed to read independently from the books of their choice. What I observe during this half hour is not independent reading. Children are constantly at the bookshelf looking for a new book because they say they aren't interested in the ones that they're reading. When I ask them questions about the books that they're reading, they have a hard time answering the questions. I want my students to be actively engaged in quality literature during this 30-minute time period. I want them to look forward to this time spent reading instead of just watching the clock.
After reviewing studies, I learned that both Curtis and Corcoran found that students wanted their teachers to connect their teaching to the real world, and that traditional schooling was not working. Curtis discussed that research proved that project-based learning enhanced test scores, improved attendance rates, and that schools had fewer discipline issues. Connecting learning to the real world made kids excited to solve problems. Kelly, another researcher, reiterated that motivating students to read is a game of trial and error, and understanding what might work today will fall flat the next day, so you better have a backup plan in place. Corcoran investigated 5th grade perceptions about reading. She discussed that students didn't like to read because they weren't interested in what they were reading. In her report, she addressed the issue that 26 students reported that it was important to be a good reader, but very few expressed that reading was something they enjoyed doing. Von Rembo reported that teachers should look for opportunities to promote motivation to read, and that this should be done through a wide variety of classroom experiences, such as read-alouds, making reading relevant, talking about books, modeling the value of reading on a personal level, and including a variety of small group reading activities and providing a wide range of materials.
For my Cycle 1, I showcased a classroom website. Students accessed the book that they were reading independently, Shiloh, and they were able to access activities such as blogging to respond to open-ended questions. I found that students were more motivated to read and respond to questions when they were able to use the blog.
Hi, Eric. So today we're in the computer log and we're blogging about the book Shiloh that we've been reading. Now, we've been doing 2 different types of responses. We have our journal response and we have our blog response. Tell me which one you prefer.
I like the blog one because I'd rather type
Now, we have a separate Shiloh website. Do you think if I had a separate website for other books, you'd be more likely to read those books on your own? Do you think you'd visit those books independently during our independent reading time? And if you knew you could come back to the computer lab and blog about them? All right, thank you very much. Why do you prefer the blog over the journal?
Because it's different from writing like all the other open-ended questions, and it's something different to do on the computer.
Okay, good. Thank you. Do you also think that you might read more books if I had more books on the website?
I think I would, because then we get a chance to tell our how we feel about the books and learn more about them.
Good. What's your favorite part about the Shiloh website?
The blogging, because you get to tell all your feelings about how you feel.
Cycle 2 was similar to Cycle 1, however I nixed the written responses because it was clear that it was not a preference for my last class. Also, based on the questionnaire, this class preferred typing their responses. Another difference in this cycle was that I changed the book. Instead of teaching 4th graders, I was teaching 5th graders, and they were reading at a higher reading level. So Bridge of Terabithia was a better choice.
Okay. Hi, Anne. Can you tell me a little bit what we're doing in the computer lab today?
Yeah, what we're doing is we go on the Bridge to Video website and we go on to blogging, and there's questions and you can answer them. Then you leave comments on other people's, and that's pretty much it.
Does using the computer and blogging about the Bridge of Terabithia make you more excited to read the book?
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps a lot.
Okay, so do you think that you would read more books if we did this more often?
Yeah, I think I would read a ton of books if you did this.
All right, thank you very much. David, what do you think about blogging so far?
I think it's fantastic. I like it.
Okay, have you ever done it before?
No, not really.
Okay, what do you think about using the blog to talk about the Bridge of Terabithia?
It's fun.
Do you like blogging about your responses better than writing them?
Yep.
Here are a few of my students' journal responses. I asked them to journal about what they thought about blogging, and all of them seem to be writing very positive things about blogging in the classroom.
Overall, my study was successful. Students who did not feel motivated to read independently expressed that they enjoyed blogging about the books that they were reading, and they said they would read more books if they could continue blogging. I was pleased with the results, and I will continue to add more pages onto my website containing different blogs for different books that are found in my classroom library. I believe that technology is a great motivator for students, and when you can connect it to something that they don't normally enjoy doing and turn a reluctant reader into a fluent reader, then that is what teaching is all about. Finding what makes your students tick and keeping that fire in them going.